All right, thank you very much. That was quite apt and concise. So I'm going on to introduce and invite the next person, which is Taiwo Ajayi. He holds a bachelor's degree, second class of honors in agricultural engineering from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Nigeria. Taiwo is a graduate research assistant at the University of Arizona, where he currently undertakes his graduate program in hydrology and atmospheric science with a specialization in weather, climate research, aerosol cloud meteorology, and air pollution. Can we make welcome, Sir Taiwo? You're welcome on board, sir.
Can you hear me? Um, I'm
Yeah,
currently on
absolutely.
transit,
Yeah.
so sorry. I will share my power slide with you guys, but I can't share right now because I don't know what's happening with my drive, so I might have to share later. So sorry. Basically, when it comes to applying to schools and getting waivers, there are lots of steps you can take as well. Because basically, as well, I never had a very good grade. Let me put it that way, because I also graduated 2-1, but was like a weaker 2-1. But I never used my GRE or TOEFL to apply to the schools that I'm in right now. And I go to like 2 schools. So what are the things you need to do? After I think I started poorly with undergrad, but I finished with like 2 or 3 dean's list as well. So one thing I realized is I knew that I'm weak when it comes to grad school application. What can I do to improve myself? Because I know no one is going to listen to me having like a 2-1, which is like 3.7 or 3.8. So what can make advisors or professors look at my application? What can make them say, okay, fine, let's pick this person? And I knew that I need to work on so many things. Things like what? I need to work on my academics, my research skills. That means I need to volunteer, even though I'm not being paid. If it is being virtual, being in person, I need to work on this. Then what are the other things I need to do? What research collaborations? I need to publish papers. So that is when I started to, okay, fine. I met with some of my undergrad advisors back at FUTA. Then I told them this is my plan, and I know my result is not going to help me. So this is what I plan to do. I need, if you don't mind, I can volunteer to work under you, get publications, get to learn data skills and data analysis skills as well. So that was the starting point for me. So I volunteered for like 2 good years because I knew that if I started application at that point in time, I was going to be rejected. So during that process as well, I was trying to look at schools. I was looking at schools because also I was trying to change my program. I had on my undergrad was in agric engineering, but I was looking something to climate science. So I was like, how can I changing program is kind of difficult as well because I was like, who is going to take me in if my GPA is weak? Then what are the things I need to like add to this thing to make them say, fine, you can take me in? So that's when I started volunteering. I went online to take some specific courses on Coursera, on Future Learn, and also went on LinkedIn to take some LinkedIn courses as well. Because I needed something to beef up my CV. I can't just say I'm applying to a school and at the end of the day it gets rejected. So those are the things I was looking at. So I started volunteering. I went to lecturers, professors in my department to tell them this is what I need. I don't need you to pay me. I don't need to do anything. I can volunteer to work for you. The only thing you can just do for me is maybe you're adding me to your publication. I'll work. I'm not saying I'm doing this like just I'm going to do everything. If it takes me to write everything you need, I'm definitely going to do that because I knew what I was looking for. So basically, after volunteering for like 2 good years, I had like 3 publications. After the writing publication, then I knew I needed to like code email. That's where the era of code email comes in. After you search for the schools you feel like going to, what are the requirements of the school? The first thing I normally do is I need to mail the graduate coordinator. What you might see on their school page might have changed. Departments have their own holistic ways of reviewing documents. The graduate school have the entire rubrics, like this is what we are looking for, but the department itself knows what they are looking out for when it comes to graduate school application. So I kind of mail graduate coordinator. It's very, very important for you before you start any application to mail a graduate school coordinator. It's very, very important for you. So one thing I do is I mail them to ask what are the requirements. Is GRE required or is GRE waived? Is TOEFL waived as coming from English-speaking countries? So I kind of leverage and ask them this question. And once, before I complete any of the mail I send to them, I always tell them if there is opportunity for application fee waiver, and if GRE is required, can it be waived based on exceptional capabilities, like you have research skills, you have like 5-6 publications, stuff like that. I kind of ask them this kind of question, and lo and behold, when most of them reply, some of them will say yes, GRE is important, but they will tell you the quant is the most important aspect. They must have like 157 or 158 and above. Some will tell you the verbal is like, if you have 140 something, still good, but your quant should be around above this. Some of them will tell you that yes, we need GRE. Some of them will say if you submit, no, it will be reviewed, and if you don't, it won't be used. So note, some schools will tell you it may be or maybe not. The reason why some of them are telling you this, at the end of the day, when it comes to like having exceptional applicants, they might tend to use the GRE as a way of shedding off some applicants from the application. So it all depends on the school. That is why it's very, very important for you to mail a graduate school coordinator. Ask them for your department, what is the requirement? Has it changed from what you're seeing online, or is still the same? Can you all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
So that is very, very important. Once you're done with any graduate school coordinator and you've gotten a feedback, sometimes they are the easiest people to give you feedback because that is their job. That is what they do. You have to respond to your email. If they don't respond for the first time, second time, you need to send them a reminder. They will definitely respond. So after that, if you've gotten all the necessary things from a graduate coordinator, and you can also ask them, is it very important for you to kind of mail an advisor in the department, or is it a must for you to get advice before you apply to the school? Some will tell you, they will advise you, it is, some graduate coordinator will definitely tell you that it's not a must, but it is advisable for you to get in touch with a faculty advisor that will help you. They will tell you it doesn't mean, even if you don't get, if you're one of the best students they want to take, they definitely take you in. So those are the things you need to ask your grad coordinator. Once you're done with grad coordinator, I will advise you to start sending code email. Don't send to like 5 advisors or 5 faculty professors at once, because they all share information. If one of them is like, I'm not taking student now, you might share your CV, your documents with another faculty, and you might have sent the same kind of code email to all of them. So it's more like it's generic. That means you're not doing your homework right. I'm just trying to like bypass the system. Okay, because I have one code email, I'm sending it to all the 5 people at once. No, make sure you're specific. If you're sending it to 2, make sure the 2 you're sending it to, you're not sending the same generic code email. Make sure you're very specific to their line of view. Check them out. What are the things that you feel like would be of interest to you in their lab? What are the things you feel like you're going to gain in their lab as well? What are the things you're bringing to the table? And when it comes to code emailing to faculty advisors, you need to attach your CV, maybe 1 or 2 of your publications. It's very, very important, and your transcript. Because I knew I'm not going to apply with a GRE or TOEFL, even though I was planning of writing it at that point in time. But one thing I leverage on is I submit my CV and 2 of my publications. One was in Springer. I know that if they see something from Springer Nature or something, they will like, yeah, it's very serious, it's what he's doing. So I kind of submit 2 of my publications attached with my CV. But once, the way I started my code emailing is to let them know that I'm interested in working with them and tell them my skills and expertise, what I've been able to do. I'm not telling them about my GPA. I'm telling them this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm really doing at this moment in time. I'm currently working as a research assistant. I'm good with, tell them the research you are working on, if it's related to what you are planning to do. So those are the kind of things. And once, if some of them are interested in you, not everyone will get back to you when it comes to code emailing advisors. Like you might get 5 in 1,000 that might respond to you. It's very, very difficult when it comes to code emailing more. The 5 that get in touch with you, some might say, yeah, fine, apply. Some will tell you they're not taking students, but they will still advise you to apply. So basically, these are very, very important things you need to look out for. So when you get in touch with them, some of them, when they respond to you, they might want to take like an interview with you. That is when I think some of my brothers have done justice to that. That's why you have to check about their profile. What are the things they do? Read one or two of their publications. Prepare questions down. It's very, very important. Prepare questions. They don't like it when you come for an interview and you don't ask them questions, and all you do is just listen to what they say. Ask them questions. They like to be drilled as well. It's not as much as they are drilling you, they want to be drilled as well to know that you're really serious about grad school application. So, and when it comes to this grad school journey, it is very, very important for you to have friends that have like-minded goals. It's very, very important. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes you might get tired of it. But if you have friends and folks that are on the same path with you, it really, really helps you. Because I could remember I belonged to a group then called ASF. It's a group whereby we help each other. Sometimes you might mail some scholars and they might not be available for you to like review your SOP or statement of purpose, but your friends that you belong to the same group can review your SOP and tell you what is wrong, what is not right. At least from there you can move on, you can improve yourself. So that is very, very important. Having people around you that have like minds, like very, very important for you as well, because when it gets tough for you, they will encourage you. And when you see one of your friends winning, you definitely know that it's already closer to you than you've expected. So it's very, very important. When it comes to getting application fee waiver, GRE and TOEFL waiver, the go-to person to ask is your graduate coordinator. It's very, very important. Ask them. If they're telling you, yes, there's no GRE waiver, tell them why you are a very good fit for their department. You need to argue your case. I think from the present school that I'm in now, they require GRE and TOEFL. But I had to argue my case because I told them I have teaching experience. I argued my case with the graduate coordinator that I have teaching experience, I have research experience, and I'm volunteering in as much as possible, and my skills and expertise. I was able to argue my case, and I got in touch with the departmental head, the departmental chair, who told me to apply, that it will be waived for me because of the skills and expertise that I have. So that is why you need to leverage on what you really have. What are the things that you have? You need to be very, very specific with yourself. Tell them these are the things you can do, these are the things you cannot do, and these are the things you are looking out for. So it's very, very important when it comes to this. And also, once you've argued your case, don't just stop there. Also, let the maybe if you are code emailing an advisor in this department, let them know you don't have a GRE or TOEFL. Tell them everything. You don't need to hide anything. Be honest and open. They like being vulnerable. See, it's in this US you can be vulnerable and nobody is going to take advantage of that. They tell them your plight. Tell them why you can't write the GRE or TOEFL. Maybe you don't have the money. You can tell them about the exchange rate. Tell them the reasons why you're not doing this. It's very, very important. But don't just say because I have a very good GPA, so they waive the GRE and TOEFL for me. No, GPA alone won't help you. You need to be very, very, because it's an holistic process. What are the other things you're bringing to the table? Are you good with some soft skills or computational skills? Your research skills it's not necessarily like having very high research skills because you are coming to be a researcher as well. But at least knowing something about research and what maybe you have a teaching experience. I normally tell people this: it's either you become an RA or a TA. I came in as a TA based on my teaching skills. I told them I could take physics, maths, and English, and sometimes basic English language as well, because I was taking American phonics then. I kind of leveraged all my expertise into this because I knew that in as much as I'm not writing GRE, I need to make them say, yes, we are taking this person in. So I need to put everything, all my egg into like, this is why you must take me in. This is why I'm a good fit for your lab. So these are one of the things you need to look out for, which is what? Code emailing a graduate school coordinator, then code emailing a graduate school advisor, letting them showing interest in their lab. It's very, very important as well. And also, you can decide to like mail the entire graduate coordinator, because there's graduate coordinator, there's departmental coordinator. Most times we tend to email departmental coordinator. Also, you can mail a grad coordinator for application fee waivers. You can mail them to let them know this is why you're good. Sometimes some departmental coordinator argue your case. I've seen scenarios whereby departmental coordinator was the one that argued my case. It was not this faculty, it was the departmental coordinator that argued my case, because most of them are also on the faculty or the committee. So it's very, very important for you to know how to channel all your energy. What are the skills and expertise that you really, really need? And also, when it comes to this, there are some schools now that doesn't make it a requirement for you to have GRE and TOEFL. They will tell you, but the competition is getting stricter and tougher by the day. That is why you need to check yourself. What are the things that I need to do to improve my skills? Should I need to take some courses, core courses online, Coursera, Future Learn, Data Learn? There are lots of places you can take courses. You have you have Cornell, you have Stanford, you have lots of places you can take courses as well. Then you need to make leverage of your LinkedIn profile. It's very, very important. Make sure you make use of your LinkedIn profile. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is professional as possible as you can. Most of them take your LinkedIn profile. because if you put them on your documents or your CV, they tend of checking it as well. Make use of your LinkedIn profile. Be very open and honest. Don't, if you're someone that is kind of open to sort of rubbish, or make your profile as clean as possible. Your Facebook, your LinkedIn profile, your Twitter account, that's later day, maybe you're applying for visa. But when it comes to grad school application, make sure your LinkedIn is as professional as possible and clean. It's very, very important. So I believe when it comes to grad school application and getting GRE waiver, you need to code email the grad coordinator to know if they are waiving it or not. If they are waiving it, it's good for you. Then you need that, you know that the competition is higher. If they're not waiving it, you can argue your case why it should be waived for you. Sometimes your case might not be accepted, so you might need to move on. Some schools now are dropping the GRE and TOEFL. They are telling you it's not a rubric for getting into getting admission anymore. It doesn't aid your success when it comes to grad school application. So you need to know what the school requires and what there's different, but what the school requires and what the department requires. The department might require something else, and the grad school might require something else. So it's very, very important to code email the department of your choice. What are the requirements? Do I need to mail an advisor or I don't need? Do I need GRE and TOEFL or I don't need? Can I get application fee waivers? Though it might be nauseating, it might be overwhelming, but these are the things you need to do when it comes to getting GRE waivers and TOEFL waivers. And also you can argue your cases with, most of the time people tend to use like TOEFL waiver, which comes from your undergrad university. You can get that as well, but most of them don't recognize. I don't know, but some of them, if you can argue your case by telling them, probably if you have publication, it helps you to waive or to argue your case for TOEFL. You have publication, you have all the, it helps you to argue your cases for TOEFL and GRE. It's very, very important. And if you don't have your if you're still an undergrad, your final year project can be a publication for you. It can be a writing sample for you. So that's why when you're writing your publication, don't copy. It's a Nigerian system. You just copy, you just submit whatever you have as your thesis and that, so no one cares. But it's very, very important for you when you're doing diligence with your publication or with your research or as a final year undergrad. Make sure you are diligent with your research. Do it to be quality enough for you to publish. It's going to be very, very helpful for you. So I believe that's all I can say. And thank you. I'm sorry, I never knew I would be en route because I have to do some other assignments. So that's why I will share the power slide with the conveners. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Scholar Taiwo. Thank you for doing justice to that